Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw, and I am Enrique. Hey. Anyways, today we're gonna go over how to draw a perspective grid. This is a continuation of the how to shade series. Originally, I did how to shade, and I did the technical way of doing the cast shadow. So now I'm just gonna go through and do the technical ways to shade everything. You know, like really technical. Like you don't really need to know this, but it's very useful, and that's why I'm teaching it to you guys because a lot of people requested it. So let's kind of get into the tools. I'm sorry. Let me talk about this. So the perspective grid. The perspective grid from this point on is pretty much necessary. You pretty much need it. That's why I'm going to dedicate this whole video to making this grid. Kind of like the way in the other video I was using the, graph paper. I slide a piece of graph paper underneath a sheet of this, and you can kind of see it, so you can keep your horizontals and verticals in line. This is going to be the same way. You don't want to think about perspective the whole way through. You don't want to be fighting it the whole time and thinking about it. So you're going to make a perspective grid, slide that underneath your paper when you're drawing the next following things we're going to be drawing. Trust me, it'll really work out. So I'm going to show you how to make it. The tool-wise, you need any straight edge. It's a ruler right here. And you need anything that gets you a right angle. You know what I mean? You need anything that gives you a right angle. And I'm going to use a T-square. What I suggest that you get is not this. I suggest that you just get a triangle. You know those triangle ruler things, a triangle? Those do the job of both of these. The reason I don't have it is just I lost it. I have no idea where it is. And I'm going to be using the same pen we always use, a Zebra F301. Printing paper, I'm using 8.5 by 11 on this one. Regular printing paper, straight up, you know? But I mean regular size and everything. I think it's just easier to maneuver the paper right now. So let's kind of get into this really quick. I'll try to make this as easy as I can with a grid. It's very technical, but I'm going to try to make it as easy as I can. So let's go for it. Save your sheet of paper. Let's go on the top fourth of the page, let's say. Make it as horizontal, your straight edge, whatever that may be. Make it as horizontal as you can. Just eyeballing it, right? Then I'm going to take the left side and lower it just a little bit. Not much, just a little. And I'm going to draw a line right there. And obviously, you know, some people are going to have it like here. Some people are going to have it here. It's not important, just as long as it's in the ballpark of this, you know? Remember, this vertical, kind of left on the... I'm going to use the left side here. You can do it the other way too, but I suggest you do that. I don't know, this is the way I'm going to do it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that angle that I just drew in, right? I'm going to pull it down to kind of the lower third of the page almost. And what I'm going to do is... I'm going to make that angle even more extreme. I'm going to pull this left side down even more. But not too crazy, but left even more. So let's kind of go over that again. This horizontal, made an angle. A little bit left on this, a little bit down on the left side. Because things are going to be going back in perspective. We're trying to make that grid back in perspective. And I'm going to take that exact angle and move it downward, right? And it's not going to be parallel. You know, we don't want parallel lines because it won't be in perspective if we do that. You just gotta graph if you do that. We want it to flare out this way because it's a perspective. It's gonna be a perspective grid. So like I said, take that angle, make it more extreme, lower this left side a little bit more. Not too much because it gets a little too nuts, but just as much as you did before. So right here, and I'm gonna draw that line as well. Now the next thing I need a straight edge. A straight edge is gonna be a big part of this. So I'm gonna grab if you have a triangle, use that. Like I said, line it up along the edge of the paper, right? Because the edge of the paper is kind of where it cuts. And let's line it up along the edge of the paper. Kind of use that. And I'm gonna be using my T-square here to line along, get a right angle from this side of the paper. And I'm gonna draw a line toward just around the center. Nothing crazy. I'm going to push down here. I did that pretty quick. But that's as close to a right angle from the tops and bottoms as I can. Like I said, that T, that L, Is that good? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and grab my ruler again. See, you don't have to switch back and forth if you have a triangle. See, that's why I prefer the triangle. I'm going to find this. See this angle I found? I'm going to make this horizontal and try to find it. Let's see. I'll just eyeball that. And I'm going to try to find this exact same angle on the other side. See this right here? I'm going to try to find that, but other way now. So this is about the same height here. Okay, I'm going to do that. Keep that as my center point. But I'm not going to, don't draw it in yet, okay? I'm going to make it extreme the other direction now. Just a little bit. Turn it a little bit. Okay? So you see what I did there? I found that same angle on this side, but I found it this way now, right? So same height over here. Right? And then I continue to rotate it. This time the right side is a little bit, because, again, perspective. That direction now. Things would be shrinking as they go away from us. So just turn it a little bit more. You'll find the center there. And I'm going to draw that all the way through. It's close enough right there. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to find a point right here. Let's see. I'm going to basically I'm going to keep a parallel, like a, what do you call it? A horizontal line. And this one I might eyeball. I shouldn't eyeball it actually. And I'm going to draw it across. What I want to do is I want these V shapes to connect. These top ones. This kind of like really extruded V. I want them to connect, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. But like not where they connect super far away. See, that doesn't even hit the V. It's got to hit both. It's got to hit. So I'm going to find a straight line. I am going to eyeball this one. Hopefully it works out. Actually, I can't eyeball it. That would be very bad practice. So I'm going to take the edge of the paper on the other side, and I'm going to try to find my right angle on that side. One moment. I'm going to pick about yay so. See, it'll touch the line here and touch the line here about. And that's fine with me. Push it down, because this thing might, but see, this is, I hate the T-square has this little edge on it that has a thickness to it. I'm going to draw it all the way across for the most part. See, now you have two other points. You have this point on this side. You have this point on that side where they cross. Are you with me so far? I hope so. And now we're going to find a horizontal, a vertical on from this line up. From that dot, I'm going to find the horizontal. Second. So I'm having trouble with the edge of the paper here. I need a triangle. Alright, drew that one. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. Again, exact, like I said, right angle to the outside of the page here. So I want a horizontal. Alright, let's see that. Has to be where that dot is. That other dot I found, that other point. Alrighty. So we have this point, this one I'll draw bigger for the demo, and we have this one. And now we are going to find the other points. I'm going to grab my straight edge. and I am going to, actually not even that, I'm going to grab my T-square, and from this point above here, on the top, I'm going to create another point there. I mean, not create it, but I found it. I'm going to draw a horizontal line across, horizontal, and I'm going to make it right angle to the paper. So let me see this. I'm going to find that horizontal, find it here, and I'm going to, because of the thing I'm using, I have to push down on it, so excuse me. Let's see if I found that. Yeah, there you go. Found that. It's a little bit dim there, but I can correct that with my ruler. Anyways, and now that I have this point, I drew that completely horizontal right angle line, completely horizontal. And now I have another point right here on this side. I'm going to connect these two now. And I'm going to draw a line all the way across. Are you guys with me so far? If you have any questions, please ask below. Or maybe go back and like try to watch it again. It is you know, it could be a little bit complicated. I definitely understand that. So this is kind of our frame. Now we're going to start that, you know, gridding it out, right? We have 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to grab a fresh sheet of paper for this because I'm going to need it. We need to find the center point of all of these so we can connect them. How do you find the center point between here and here? Consider this like the edge of a box. That's what we're trying to... Let's find the center point to the middle. And there's a trick to that. Get a fresh sheet of paper. Line up the top to that point. And line this one up to this bottom point on this center line. Say it like that. And I'm going to fold it. See right there. And I'm going to fold it in half. And this top point's going to touch the bottom right there. And I'm going to create this crease right here in the paper. See that? And that crease marks the center point of here. And I want the center point between here and here as well. This half point to that, I want that 1/4 saw. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to crease halfway. I'm going to crease to that crease we just made. Make another crease right there. And I find the 4ths there. And I'm going to move this down. And these two will match because that was already half. And then you find the half right there. It's already set for me because of this. So now I have this divided evenly. Now on this piece of paper that I just have, I'm going to write a C for center because we're going to be using the other edges for this. I'm going to flip it over to a clean side, and since this is a little bit different of a size, I'm going to do the exact same thing over here with this edge. Think of this as the edge of our box. There's a top point and the bottom on the left side. Go right here, fold it over. It touches that bottom point, fold. And we're center point on that. We want our 1/4 point right here. Fold it there. That loose. Center point right here. And then we're going to move this down. Lined up, and we have our center point already. And this, I'm going to put an L for left. The reason for that is we're going to need this. We're going to need this paper again, and I got to label it just to, it'll mix it up. I'm going to grab another clean edge, and I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. So this top point on the right, bottom point on the bottom, I'm going to, again, fold to that bottom point, make a crease, let that go. I got my center point there. I'm going to make another crease to that, find that quarter. Let's get it right here. I'm going to move this whole thing downward. Find that as well. And now we divided our edges of our boxes, let's say. You can think of it as edge of our box in perspective. And from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this and connect these two dots where they align. And then draw it all the way across. Same thing with this. Same thing with this. And then that one's already done it because we did that in the other one. This bottom one's already done there. Same thing on the other side. We're going to connect the center to the left and the aligning dots, the second from the bottom. Oops, let me put that over here. Connect this one, third from the bottom, and connect this last second from the top here, second from the top on the center line. You see what I'm doing? I hope I'm really this is alright. Center line, left, right. So center to the right, and I'm connecting the adjoining dots. And this is the beginning of the grid, you know. You want to set something down, and it's almost like you got this like matrix grid, you know, in space. So it's just in this area. How do we get it down here? We're gonna grab our paper again. I'm gonna grab my center right now, and I had things folded up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab, see how this kind of measured out? I'm gonna move it down. I'm gonna have my edge of my paper, and I'm gonna mark my dot here and finish off that grid. One's going right to the edge. Same thing for the top. You're going to find this center crease here. You can even mark it as well. Find this next point up there. You want to build it. And then I'm going to go to the right side. I marked an R. Where's the R? Where in the hell is the R? I did not put an R on that side. Whoops. So I'm going to find the one that's folded up but has nothing written on it. Let me write that R because I wrote the rest. It's already measured out for me. Let's see here. Wait. Find this. Here, and here at the top. And I'm going to go downward as well. See that? Find that on the line. Finding this next point and this next point. And I'm going to adjoin those dots also. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to actually do the left as well. Sorry about that. I'm going to find my left where that was measured out. Top right here. That's that next point on the left. So, like I said, think of this as like this edge of a box, and these are the outer edges of a box. And we're using that, like I said, to find this entire grid world in a way, you know. But let me connect them as well there. Whoops, I didn't find the one down here left. And I'm gonna connect the rest of adjoining lines, right? from the center line to this left side. Right here, the bottom one, really, really bottom one. Let's see. Right here. Oops, see, watch the edge there. So I'm going to grab this center and connect it. I'm sorry, I have one more up here. Now I'm going to connect the center to the right. Using my straight edge here. Now, do you have to do this for every single, like, of the next few exercises we're going to do with? It'd be a good idea. Oh, whoops, daisy. It'd be a good idea to know how to make this, because this helps a lot. You know, you have already perspective worked out underneath. This is for perspective that have the vanishing. If you go back to the perspective videos, I talk about vanishing points. And the vanishing points on this particular perspective grid are way off the page. You know what I mean? They're like way out here, like way outside. You know what I mean? This is for like the close-up perspective view. You know what I mean? Not so much buildings, things like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what this is for. You're making a grid everywhere. You can even draw more verticals if you want. If you want more verticals to kind of keep. See, there's only 3, but you can make more if you'd like. Like, let's see here. Oh, mostly this side. I think this one needs one here. Let's see. Just keep track of the horizontal. Let me see this. Edge of the paper. Edge of the paper. Keep track of it there. And I'm just gonna throw one there, and you can throw more too if you want to kind of keep track of that. You can even throw stuff across if you'd like, but not really. That wouldn't be a good idea. So now that we have this grid, I would take this grid, right? And for the next few assignments, I'm gonna slide it under one sheet of paper, and now I have a grid. I don't know if you can see through that or not, but I have a literal perspective grid now. Now I'm like, oh, okay. Let's say my corner of my box is gonna be here. Here, and then I'm gonna try to keep track of, let's say the box goes all the way up. I'm just doing this freehand, by the way, guys, nothing crazy. Go all the way up, and that box has an edge, right? I'm gonna have to guesstimate, not guesstimate, but I'm gonna look at that edge, and I'm gonna look at that edge. I'm gonna know how extreme to make that angle. Well, this one's gonna be a straight line down. Let's see. Let's pull this down. This angle's going to be a little bit more. So you have this line, let's say at the top. I just did this freehand, but let's say you have this line right here. And this one down here. And because of the grid, they're on a perspective. They're on a certain perspective. They're not parallel. So, like if you're drawing something, let's say you're drawing like a robot or something like that, and you're like, what's going on? This perspective grid underneath keeps you in line, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, it's about, you know, from, like this flat end is about that, you know. If like you drew something all weird like that, you can angle it back, you know, and knowing that it's in perspective. If it's something like kind of mechanical form, it does it for organic too, which we will kind of go over pretty soon. I'm just freehanding this stuff, but I'm just trying to tell you what the purpose of this grid for. What's the purpose of this grid? It's really to kind of keep you in line, because we're gonna be drawing a lot of boxes, like, you know, kind of organic shapes, but have a flat bottom. You know what I mean? You want that flat bottom to be in perspective. You know what I mean? One way or the other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that makes sense to you. If this grid does not make sense, if something did not make sense, ask me in the comments. I really need people to understand this, and I'm gonna blame myself if you don't. But ask me in the comments, and then if Maybe there needs to be a follow-up video, but I'm gonna wait a couple of days for the response before I post the next videos continuing on with this, because this is necessary. This grid is absolutely necessary. So, oh, also, do you need to make this every single time on the next few, like lessons or whatever, boxes and stuff like that? It's a good idea to do that, because you can do this in digital. In digital, when you use Photoshop, you can do this and just copy it. Boom, 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 boom. Real easy. Perspective grids are real easy. This is kind of real life. What I used to do in school, and actually what I do kind of now every now and then, I grab this. I have a ready-made one, which I have now. I still need to make the first one, though. And I literally scan this thing, and I just copy out my own. Boom, boom, boom. Or just photocopy it so it's the same scale. So I don't have to worry about the scale thing. But that's pretty much it. I have a bunch of these in case they get ruined. I have like 10 or something like that. So the next few, we're going to be using this grid. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Please comment. Tell me that you got this. Tell me that you didn't get this, and I'll, try to respond, and we'll figure stuff out in this next series, okay? The next day, I'll probably post some fun videos, but then we're going to go right back to the Shading 101 stuff, the technical way. Thanks a lot, guys. Also, check out my ebook. I made a free ebook on shading. Not this stuff, but more like just general shading. It'll really get you started off really quick. I really like the ebook. It's a free ebook, totally free. Just sign up for our mailing list, which I got to get organized, but so sign up for our mailing list, and you get that free ebook. It's like 20 pages. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later, and see ya.